Now we're going to learn how to thread this sewing machine. So we're going to start with our top thread and then go to our bobbin thread. So first of all, we start by getting a spool of thread or a large piece of thread like this and put it on one of these thread holders here. We then go all the way across to the left side of the sewing machine and then we just hook that in like that. You need to make sure it's all the way in, so pull it all the way so it's in that little hole there and pull it through. We then go right down to the bottom, just here, and we're just going to hook that from right to left and up again. We're then going to make sure that our take-up lever is in the right spot. This is in the right spot, but you may need to turn the hand wheel towards you to find it. So as you can see, just turning the hand wheel, putting it into a spot that's really good for me. There we go, I can see where to put it, and then we'll put it through from left to right. Oh, sorry, right to left. And we just put it through there like that and get it hooked in until it's down in that hole. So from right to left through that one. We then go down all the way near the needle. As you can see, there's a little hook there. We're just going to wind it around the back here, or hook it into the back there, and then we're nearly done. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to thread this through the needle, front to back through that little hole there. Now, we may need to cut our thread just so that it's not got frayed ends, so it's really easy to thread, and I'm just going to thread it now really quickly. You may not be able to see this. Hopefully it goes through. There we go. You can see that it's going through the back there, and then just pull that through that hole down the bottom, that little gap there, pull it through, and then pull it out to the left there. So that's pretty much how we thread our top thread. Now our top thread is always in the shape of a capital N when it's right. If yours isn't in the shape of a capital N, then it will tangle up and it will not sew properly. So you just need to make sure that's happening correctly. Now we've done the top thread, we're going to do the bobbin thread because we need another thread to hook into each other to sew properly. So as we found out, we find the bobbin thread in this little compartment here, and we can get it out easily just by hooking that little thing out. Now, your bobbin case will be in here. However, your bobbin thread may not, so you have to locate one of those if you need one. So pretty much we've just got our bobbin case and our bobbin thread here, and what we're going to do is we're going to thread it and then put it back into the sewing machine. So what you need to do is I'm going to show you how to do this really simply. So what you'll do is you'll hold your bobbin case in your left hand. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to insert your bobbin with the thread and make sure it's spinning in a clockwise direction. So I'm just going to make sure that's spinning. See how it's spinning clockwise? We want to make sure it's spinning clockwise so that it doesn't tangle in the sewing machine. Then I'm going to turn it like this and see how there's a little groove. We want it to come in that little groove and then go all the way into that top bit like that, and for it to run all the way through there, still spinning clockwise. Once we've done that, we just want to double check it's all good, clockwise, all in there, and that gives it the right tension for you to sew later. So the next thing we're going to do is to put our bobbin and our bobbin case, which have been threaded correctly, into the sewing machine. So we need to make sure that the bobbin is facing, or the handle on the bobbin is facing upwards, so vertical, and we just put it in like that. If it's not facing vertical, it will jam in the sewing machine. Once we do that, we'll just make sure it clicks in. It may click once or twice depending on what sewing machine you've got, and then we've got it all sorted. The last thing we need to do is we need to get this thread up through that top bit there. The way we do this is we hold the top thread of the sewing machine, and then we turn the hand wheel towards us to get that up there. So I'm going to show you this from over here. So I'm just going to hold the top thread and just turn the hand wheel towards me. I really only need to do that once until you see that there's a little hook there happening with the bottom thread. So we just get that out with a needle or some scissors, and once we've done that, we pull that out, make sure both threads are at the top, we close this bottom bit, and then we've threaded our sewing machine and we're ready to sew.